Welcome back to the deep dive. Today, we are getting into source material that describes, well, it's nothing less than a full-scale educational revolution.
It really is.
The source is a series of excerpts from a work called AI Agents, Architecting the Digital Learning Ecosystem.
And that word architecting is so important here. This isn't just another app or a new piece of software.
Right. This is about the entire infrastructure. Our mission today is to really unpack how these specialized AI agents are fundamentally rebuilding how we think about coaching and education.
Pushing it way beyond the old limits, the classroom walls, the 9 a.m. seminar slot.
Exactly. We're looking at how a learning system can be custom built to work for you, the learner, whenever and wherever you need it most.
That really is the critical point. The core idea here isn't just taking a textbook and making it a PDF. It's about transforming static knowledge.
The old lecture notes, the dusty books.
All of it, and turning it into what the source calls a living, interactive educational ecosystem. It's a complete shift. You're not going to the knowledge anymore.
The knowledge is being built around you, for you.
Precisely. And these systems, they run 24/7. They can operate in any language, at any level of expertise.
So from a first grader to a PhD.
To a professional needing to upskill. It's a single, scalable architecture.
And the scope is just immense. We're going to get into some really specific, tangible applications today that show just how powerful this is. This isn't science fiction.
Not at all. This is the blueprint for what's being deployed right now. We'll be looking at everything from, full-on digital schools and online coaching businesses.
All the way down to a personal mentor that lives in your pocket.
A 24-hour mentor for any skill you want to learn. And crucially, we'll also dig into how these agents help human teachers. They don't replace them.
They empower them.
They become these hyper-efficient assistants.
Huh?
And that blend automated heavy lifting with human oversight, that's the foundation of this entire revolution.
Okay, so if we're talking about a complete architectural rebuild, let's start at the most important part, the foundation, the student experience. Let's dive right into section 1, the AI agent as the ultimate tutor.
Right. So when we talk about this AI tutor model, you have to get the idea of a simple chatbot out of your head. It's not that. This agent is playing multiple roles at once.
It's an instructor.
It's an instructor, an evaluator, and maybe most importantly, a resource generator. The source really hammers this point. The AI tutor's main job is to be an adaptive, continuous system.
So the student never has to wait. No more waiting for the next class or for the teacher's office hours.
Exactly. The friction is removed.
So if it's doing all of this at once, what does that actually feel like for the student? What's the cognitive experience?
I think the best way to put it is profound cognitive load reduction. The agent is designed to break things down. It teaches concepts step by step.
So it's not just throwing a whole chapter of physics at you and saying, good luck.
Never. It gives you a micro lesson. And if you hit a wall, if you don't get something, the agent provides scaffolding, support immediately.
And that's the real differentiator, isn't it? That real-time personalization. Traditional education has always been a fixed pace. Everyone moves together, ready or not.
Precisely. And that's where students fall through the cracks. This system is engineered to adjust to your current level instantly.
So give me an example. What does that look like?
Okay, so let's say you're struggling with calculus because, and the system detects this, you never really mastered trigonometry.
A very common problem.
Super common. The agent doesn't just mark your calculus quiz as failed. It recognizes the root cause and immediately loops back. It serves you a remediation lesson on the specific trig concept you need right then and there.
So it stops the problem from compounding.
It prevents the compounding of errors. And that is probably the single biggest failure point in large, fixed-pace classrooms.
And to make those kinds of decisions, it must be constantly tracking your progress.
Relentlessly. It provides continuous feedback, tracking everything time spent on a problem, accuracy rates, which concepts you hesitate on. It builds this comprehensive performance profile for you.
And that profile is what powers the adaptive curriculum.
It's the engine, yes. And because it knows your specific weak spots, it instantly generates customized educational resources for you.
Not for the class, but just for you.
Just for you. Quizzes, massive question banks, concept diagrams, all designed purely to fill your individual gaps.
The part of the source I found most striking was the note on multilingual support. It specifically mentioned supporting bilingual learning using English and Urdu as an example. I mean, that's not just a cool feature. The implications are huge.
Oh, massive. It speaks directly to the democratization of knowledge. Think about it. Urdu is spoken by hundreds of millions of people.
And so much high-level academic content is locked away in English.
Exactly. It's stuck in these English language silos.
Yeah.
With this, you can make that content instantly available in Urdu, breaking down these huge geographic and linguistic barriers overnight.
So a lecture from an expert in London.
Can be deployed immediately to students in Pakistan or India, complete with custom quizzes, local context, everything.
Yeah.
All translated and adapted by the agent. It just dramatically accelerates knowledge equity.
Okay, so let's move beyond just the teaching part and look at the stuff it can actually make. The usable content it generates on demand. This is where it gets really practical for a self-learner.
This is where you stop being a passive student. So you finish a really dense chapter on, I don't know, molecular biology. Instead of you having to manually highlight and summarize,
Which takes forever.
the agent just provides an immediate, custom-generated summary of the chapter, and it's even tailored to the learning goals you set at the beginning.
And it has to be flexible for different learning styles, right?
Yeah.
Visual learners, auditory learners.
It's key. For a visual learner, it'll generate a detailed concept diagram on the fly, showing how all the pieces fit together.
And for someone who learns better by listening or watching.
It can generate a full, structured video script explaining a complex topic. You could literally ask it to explain Keynesian economics in 60 seconds for a beginner, and boom, you've got a perfectly paced script.
Ready for a voiceover or an animation? That's incredible. It's shifting the content from just pure theory into something you can actually grasp.
That's the whole point. It anchors abstract learning by providing tons of real-world examples. And for practice, for drilling, the agent is a tireless machine. It generates custom question banks and high-quality worksheets.
So no more spending hours online trying to find decent practice problems.
None. It's all created perfectly to match the exact lesson you're on right now.
This level of adaptability means it can be applied to almost any field. The source gives a great overview of just how diverse the use cases are.
And this is where you see that the technology is, it's knowledge agnostic. It works for the traditional areas like school subjects and university prep. That's the obvious stuff.
But then it gets into these really specialized, high-context fields.
Right. For example, the source specifically mentions Quranic education. Now, this requires deep contextual knowledge, a real sensitivity to classical Arabic, a very structured approach to memorization.
Not something you can just feed into a generic AI.
Not at all. An AI tutor for this has to be trained on established principles of Islamic jurisprudence, on centuries of commentary. It adapts the pace to a student's memory cycles. Then you look at something like legal education. That's a whole other beast.
Right, it's all about dense case law, precedents, complex doctrines.
Exactly. And the source mentions the agent helps extract crucial ratios. For our audience, let's break that down. In law, that's the ratio decidendi. It's the core binding legal principle from a case. It's what sets the precedent.
And learning to spot that is basically the main skill of law school.
It's a huge part of it.
Yeah.
Separating the binding principle from all the other commentary. An AI agent can scan thousands of pages of case law in seconds and pull out those specific ratios, teaching students that skill way faster than just reading alone.
It's like it automates the most tedious analytical part.
It does. And finally, you have general skills training for all sorts of professional development. The same structured model applies whether you're studying for a civil service exam or trying to master a spiritual text.
So if the AI is handling instruction and personalization so well for the student, that brings up a really strategic question. What's left for the human teacher to do? And that leads us perfectly into section 2, empowering the human educator.
This is really the operational core of the whole system. The sources are clear. The biggest bottleneck in education today is administrative load.
The paperwork.
All of it. Teachers are just bogged down in prep, assessment, management. It leaves so little time for the high-value stuff.
Yeah.
Actual teaching, mentoring, connecting with students.
So the AI agents become the automated back office.
Exactly. They give teachers their time back.
Okay, let's start with streamlining lesson planning. This is that repetitive work that has to be done perfectly every time.
And agents automate it completely. A teacher, let's call her Miss Smith, needs a week-long unit on the U.S. Civil War. She just inputs the topic, the grade level, and the agent instantly generates a fully structured, pedagogically sound lesson plan.
And we're not talking a basic outline, are we? The deliverables are ready to go.
Completely. The agent generates the structured lesson plans, engaging class activities, the assessments you'll need, the homework tasks, and even the really detailed rubrics you need to grade everything consistently.
That's a process that would take a human teacher days.
Days of their free time, usually late into the evening.
So walk me through the workflow. The source makes it sound incredibly fast.
It's designed for speed. Step 1, you input your topic. Step 2, an agent like ChatGPT creates the structured plan, the skeleton. Then the human teacher steps in. This is the creative part.
Right, adding the human touch.
You use a tool like Canva or PowerPoint to create the visuals, make it engaging. Then the agent takes over again, generating all the worksheets based on that plan. The teacher just has to print or share them.
A task that used to take 3 hours on a Sunday afternoon is now, what, 30 minutes?
At most. And that frees up the teacher to focus on the students who are struggling, or to design a more creative project instead of just doing paperwork.
And that freed up time isn't just for planning. The agents also step into classroom management support. This is so critical. Admin load is a leading cause of teacher burnout.
It's a huge factor. So the agent becomes this administrative suite running in the background.
So what specific jobs does it take on?
All the continuous data logging. Basic stuff like attendance tracking is automated. But more importantly, it automatically compiles student performance reports. It pulls data from every quiz, every assignment, and creates these easy-to-read summaries.
So no more spending a week at the end of every quarter manually calculating grades.
That nightmare is gone. And it even handles parent communication, which can be a huge, unscheduled time sink.
How does that work?
It drafts standardized letters based on templates. For example, it can automatically notify a parent if their child misses 2 homework assignments in a row. It generates quick behavior summaries before a parent-teacher meeting, and it creates the daily or weekly class schedules. The teacher is elevated from being a secretary to a master educator.
Okay, this next part, advanced assessment and exam creation, seems like one of the most important for academic quality. Making good, fair tests is incredibly hard and time-consuming.
And it's where the quality improvement is just profound. The AI doesn't just make a simple test. It creates diverse assessments that test knowledge in different ways.
To get a fuller picture of what the student knows.
Exactly. It can produce detailed, long and short answer questions for deep analysis, very specific, multiple choice questions for recall, and even structured oral test questions for a language class.
But a great test is useless if the grading is all over the place.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
And the quality control is built in. The agent doesn't just write the questions. It simultaneously generates detailed answer keys for fast, objective grading. And this is the most important part, comprehensive marking rubrics.
So everyone is graded by the exact same standard.
It ensures total consistency, it reduces bias, and it saves the teacher an enormous amount of time. Miss Smith no longer spends 3 hours writing a rubric for an essay. She spends 30 seconds reviewing a perfect one generated by the agent. That's the power here.
So we've seen the agent master instruction for the student and act as an assistant for the teacher. The final piece is empowering the individual learner to manage their own success. This takes us to section 3, the rise of the self-mastery mentor.
Exactly. We're moving from the classroom to the individual's personal strategy. This is where the AI agents go beyond just curriculum and get into personalized study plans and even non-academic self-improvement coaching.
So it's the difference between being given the ingredients and being given the custom minute-by-minute recipe for success. And that starts with personalized learning and preparation plans.
You got it. When the stakes are high, you need more than just knowledge. You need a strategy. The AI agent acts as your personal academic strategist. It takes a big long-term goal and breaks it down into immediate, actionable tasks.
And the outputs aren't just vague suggestions, are they?
Not at all. They're tactical routines.
Yeah.
We're talking rigid weekly study plans, detailed daily routines that even factor in breaks and sleep, and targeted test prep strategies that focus on the areas where you'll get the most points.
The source gives some pretty intense examples of where this is crucial.
Yeah, these are high-stakes environments. Take CSS preparation in Pakistan. That's this massive civil service exam. You have to master a dozen unrelated subjects. An agent is almost necessary just to manage the schedule.
Or medical school entrance exams.
Right, which require just an incredible amount of scientific recall. The agent structures the perfect memorization and review cycles for you.
It's not just for university-level stuff, though.
No, it also mentions detailed OA-level exam planning for younger students. And it can be for very specific goals, like a Quran memorization schedule. That requires immense discipline and precise pacing over months or even years. The agent builds the perfect plan for that specific goal.
But mentorship has to be more than just academics. The next part, tools for self-mastery and personal development, is about coaching skills that are often ignored in school but are essential for life.
This is where the agent becomes a true holistic life coach. It bridges that gap between knowing the material and being an effective person. The areas it coaches are all about maximizing human performance.
Like what?
Things like memory coaching, optimizing your time management, developing emotional intelligence, refining leadership skills, and, maybe most importantly, habit building.
So how does an AI tangibly coach a soft skill like that?
It turns it into an engineering problem. For memory, the source mentions biomemory techniques. For our audience, that means structured systems based on how the brain actually works. Things like spaced repetition, retrieval practice.
So it's not just a reminder to study, it's a strategically timed intervention.
Exactly. The agent tells you when to review a specific fact for maximum long-term retention. For habits, it uses daily automations, little nudges and reminders. And crucially, it uses formal progress tracking sheets.
So it makes subjective goals measurable.
Right. It turns a vague goal like, get better at managing my emotions, into trackable, incremental objectives. It's personalized behavioral engineering at scale.
We've covered the student, the teacher, and the individual learner. It's time to zoom out to the macro view. How do all these pieces fit together to create a real institution? This is section 4, architecting the digital school.
Right, we're moving from using individual tools to full-on institutional design. The source makes it clear that if you want to build a world-class automated learning institution, you need a hierarchy of these specialized agents all working together.
So what are those core components? What's the organizational chart of an AI school?
At the very foundation, you have the direct learning agents, the AI teachers for structured content, and the AI tutors for that one-on-one personalized help. Those are your frontline instructors.
And then who's in charge of the curriculum itself, the quality control?
That's the next layer up. You have AI course designers to make sure everything is structured logically, and the AI assessment agents that we talked about, handling all the testing and grading. That layer guarantees quality control.
Okay, so you have instruction and curriculum. Then you need the management layer, the part that connects with the humans, parents, administrators.
Correct. The source points to two crucial management components. First, the AI dashboard for progress tracking. This gives everyone, students, teachers, parents, a single real-time view of what's going on.
And the second part?
The AI parent communication agents. They automate the flow of information to the family.
Let me push back on that for a second. Doesn't automating parent communication feel cold?
Yeah.
Disconnected?
That's a great question, and it really gets to the design philosophy. The agent handles the standardized communication, the weekly summaries, the attendance alerts. This frees up the human teacher's limited time for the high-touch communication.
The important conversations.
The phone call about a student's breakthrough moment, or a difficult conversation that requires real empathy. The agent handles the noise so the human can focus on the signal.
That makes a lot of sense. So for our audience, many of whom are creators and experts themselves, this next part is the key. The 7-step course creation workflow. This is the actual blueprint for turning expertise into a course.
And it really is like an industrial process for knowledge. It takes something that used to take months of effort and shrinks it down to days or even hours.
Okay, so step 1, define learning outcomes. This is still the human part. The expert has to decide what the student will be able to do at the end.
The human sets the destination, the AI builds the road. So then you get to step 2, break down into modules. The AI could help here, analyzing the content and suggesting the most logical sequence to teach it in.
And then we get into the rapid content generation. Step 3 is create lesson plans, and the source mentions using tools like ChatGPT plus Canmore. What is that?
Well, ChatGPT generates the text, the detailed lesson plan. A tool like Canmore would likely be used to structure and organize that output into standardized, usable formats. The human just has to review and approve.
And right after that, step 4. Add visuals using things like Canva or Imagen.
This is critical for engagement.
Yeah.
And the AI can generate images that are contextually perfect for the lesson so you're not stuck with cheesy stock photos.
Then the source gets into multimedia, which is essential for any premium online course.
Right. Step 5, add audio-video. It mentions Whisper plus Pika Labs. That's a powerful combo. Whisper is amazing for transcription, which you can use for subtitles or even voice cloning. And Pika Labs is an AI tool for generating video from text or images.
So an expert could create a high-quality video lecture without ever needing a camera.
Instantly, right from the script they generated in step 3. It's a complete production studio.
So content is done. Step 6 is verification. Create assessments.
Yep. You finalize all the quizzes and worksheets. The assessment agent designs them to make sure the student actually achieved the outcomes you defined back in step 1.
And finally, deployment.
Step 7, deploy online. The flexibility here is just astounding. You can put your course on a simple platform like Notion or Google Classroom. You can use a traditional LMS if you're a big institution, or you can deploy it on a custom website via a service like Vercel for a global branded experience.
It completely removes the technical barrier to publishing world-class content.
It democratizes it.
That detailed workflow shows just how accessible this has become. And now this architecture lets agents drill down into these incredibly specific niche professional domains. In Section 5, we're going to explore these specialized agents.
Yeah, this is where deep dive really fits. These agents aren't just for general knowledge. They're tools for deep expertise in fields that require constant updates and incredible precision.
Let's start with the practical stuff. Professional skills agents. These are the career-focused agents for someone trying to get a job or move up.
These agents are all about job readiness. They'll coach you on how to write a resume that's optimized for modern hiring systems, making sure the keywords are right. They even run you through simulated job interviews.
And provide instant feedback, I assume.
Instant, objective feedback on everything from your answers to your pacing.
And what about foundational skills?
Absolutely. They can teach programming fundamentals with real-time code review. They cover modern skills like digital marketing. And on the interpersonal side, they coach things like public speaking and the core principles of entrepreneurship.
Now let's go back to the complexity of law. The source's details on legal education agents show just how high value this can be.
Legal knowledge is so dense. The agent's main job is to manage that density. It can take thousands of pages of documents and summarize complex case laws instantly. And as we said, it automatically extracts those crucial ratios, the precedents.
A skill that takes years to develop manually.
Years. And the agent also handles testing and practice. It creates targeted legal MCQs, prepares full exam papers, and can even generate scripts for oral arguments so you can practice your delivery.
It seems like it covers every aspect of legal training.
It even helps by simplifying complex doctrines, making them accessible for first-year students without watering them down.
Next, the source looks at the fast-paced world of business and startup education agents.
Here, the agents are focused on strategy and operations. They can help you develop and analyze different business models, and they're invaluable for teaching the art of pitch deck design.
Why do you need an AI for a pitch deck?
Speed and data. An agent can analyze thousands of successful pitch decks, cross-reference them with current market trends, and then help you structure a deck that's perfectly tailored to your industry and your investors. It guides you through market research, sales psychology, and even team leadership.
Finally, the source touches on a really sensitive and specialized area: Islamic and ethical education agents. This shows the system has to be capable of real nuance.
It's a powerful example of how this isn't just a Western-centric technology. These agents are trained on established commentary and jurisprudence. They can teach core concepts like the Sirah, provide deep hadith commentary, and contextualize Quranic stories.
So it's not just a text reader, it understands the context.
It has to. It guides learners through complex frameworks like Islamic jurisprudence and ethical decision-making. It's a profound proof of concept that these agents can handle highly specialized, culturally rich content with the fidelity it requires.
So we've established the functionality, now for the consequences. Section 6 is all about the business implications and the huge societal impact of all this.
This is the macroeconomic view. For any individual expert or coach, this technology is an immediate and massive scaling advantage. It changes the economics of mentorship entirely.
So let's start with that. Scaling the coaching business. How much does this break the old model?
It shatters it. A traditional coach is limited by the hours in the day. It's a scarcity model. AI agents just obliterate that constraint. A single coach can now train thousands of people simultaneously.
But when you scale education, doesn't the quality usually go down?
That's a traditional trade-off. But here, the agent maintains, or even improves the quality. It handles all the repetitive teaching and drilling, so every single student gets immediate, objective feedback. The quality is consistent.
And what does that leave for the human coach to do?
It frees them up to focus entirely on deep mentorship. The inspirational, motivational, nuanced guidance that only a human can provide. The agent handles the instruction, the coach handles the inspiration.
And this must open up totally new business models.
Completely new revenue stream. You can offer fully automated courses on demand, subscription-based lessons with a 204/7 AI tutor, premium masterclass programs. The experts stop selling their time and start selling their codified expertise at scale.
The implications go way beyond individual entrepreneurs, though. Let's talk about lifelong learning agents for professionals.
In a knowledge economy, you have to keep learning or you become obsolete. These agents are the solution for continuous professional development without needing expensive, time-consuming seminars.
Can you give us some of the specific examples from the source?
For sure. There's the lawyer's legal update agent, which tracks new case law in real time and sends you relevant summaries. You never miss a critical change.
Wow.
There's the doctor's research summarizer agent, which digests the flood of new medical studies and keeps doctors up to date. And the entrepreneur's market trends agent, which delivers constant competitive intelligence. Your expertise never goes stale.
This all leads to the ultimate promise, the societal impact. This is where this technology goes from being a cool tool to a global necessity because it can help close the education gap.
This is the big architectural promise. By automating the delivery of high-quality, personalized education, AI agents make what was once elite and exclusive, well, they make it affordable.
Because they're infinitely scalable.
Exactly. They are inherently personalized to each student. And most critically, they are accessible anywhere you have an internet connection.
And that accessibility, especially with the multilingual features we talked about, could reshape entire economies.
It's a massive force for democratization. We're talking about bringing world-class education to developing countries, to underserved areas, to rural communities. A student in a remote village can suddenly have access to a tutor that is just as good as one in London or New York.
That's a powerful engine for creating real economic parity through knowledge.
It's a game changer.
We have covered an incredible amount of ground today. We've gone from the tiny detail of how an agent makes a quiz all the way up to the vision of a global, equitable school system.
The summary is really this. AI agents are fundamentally changing how teachers teach, how students learn, and how knowledge is distributed across the entire planet. They are the infrastructure for the future of learning.
And the really empowering message for you listening right now, whether you're an expert, a coach, an educator, is that this power is now in your hands. The sources make it clear that anyone can follow that 7-step blueprint we talked about.
You can build a digital school, you can launch a scalable mentoring business, you can create a whole educational platform, and you don't need a deep technical background to do it anymore.
The tools are here. The blueprint exists.
And this leap in technology, it standardizes and perfects all the mechanics. The instruction, the assessment, the admin, which raises a final, really big question for every educator and learner to think about.
Okay, what is it?
If AI agents can handle 90% of the instructional and logistical work flawlessly, what is the sole remaining irreplaceable role of the human teacher?
Is it just about inspiring curiosity, or is it something deeper, like fostering empathy, community, the social connection that happens outside the lesson plan? We'll leave you with that to think about what is the true value of human mentorship in an age of flawless automated instruction. Thank you for joining us for this deep dive. We'll see you next time.